everybody. Good morning to you. How are you? Hope you're having a wonderful day today. It is a beautiful day here in Oregon. Well, at least it looks like it. I haven't been outside, but if the sun is out, that's a good day. It's been raining here a lot. A lot. Good weather for ducks, but unfortunately, I'm not a duck. So, what are we doing today? Well, we're doing another retro react. Now, I know what a lot of you might be saying right now. Why are you doing so many retro reacts? Well, it's because her Foodie's old content, it's much more interesting and react worthy than her newer content. As you guys know, she's done 2 lives, and I'm going to be honest with you. I looked at them both and I just kept thinking to myself, what is there to talk about? Is this react worthy? And the answer immediately was no, there's nothing there. And I don't feel right making a video where I have nothing to say because she has nothing to say. This is my channel. I'm free to make executive decisions about what content I do. And if there's nothing interesting there, I'm not going to put it in front of you. Just not going to do it. I'll do stuff that I feel like doing and I feel passionate about doing, and I'll leave the rest alone. Fraudy did do another video this morning talking about a weigh-in, and it was shorter, so I might do a recap of that and put that all together. But for right now, we're doing a retro react of the time right before Sala. She was involved with a gentleman named Meaton. So she was involved with him, talking him up, talking about wanting to be with him. And then directly after Meaton, I would believe it was Sala. So before we get into that, a few interesting things that I found on Twitter. Very interesting. And I want to include that with this react. So let me just go ahead, bring up the screen. And for those of you that are on Twitter, if you want to follow me just to keep up with things and to make sure that you get notified when I do lives, like tarot lives, a foodie, or I post a video, you can follow me on Twitter under Wow Girl Sarah. Yeah, because sometimes YouTube, they drop the ball on notifications and people don't get notified of stuff. So you're on Twitter, please follow me there. Okay, so we're starting out here at the top, of course. And this, how did I miss this? Book Lady is so right. Oh my God, like, how did I miss this? Why was I not thinking about this? Maybe it's because there were so many other details. But Book Lady says this. Why did I not see this? She's not wearing abayas anymore. MJK23 says, I've come to the conclusion these are old videos. These are not newly filmed. She's not wearing any of the new clothes she got in Canada. Check the Skechers. They're the old busted ones. Let me just smack myself in the forehead for a minute. You're right. You're absolutely right. She got a bunch of new clothes in Canada. She got a new pair of shoes. Where are they? If it's a recent video, why isn't she wearing them? She's wearing clothes in the mall video that she had before, the shoes that she had before. If she's got brand new shoes, which are better for her feet, why would she wear those old busted Skechers? You know, I was absolutely wondering, why would Foodie go to that same mall and walk around? They've been there before, but Foodie is the queen of holding on to content and posting content out of context. You know, you can't, it makes it harder for the reactors to keep up with the timeline and hold her accountable for stuff when she posts everything all mixed up and out of order. That's why she does that. Not because she doesn't want to make money. Oh no, she always wants to make money. It's about keeping everybody confused to where they can't really keep up with what she's doing and create this air of this was here when it was actually here. But you're right, MJ and Book Lady. Like, why didn't I see that? Doggone it. She's wearing all the old clothes in the video that she had before, but none of the new ones. So it's probably not a newer video. Man, I'm so mad. How did I miss that? But you know what? I love the people on Twitter, and I love the people in Girl World. Girl World, we're a bunch of detectives, man. There's just too many eyes, too many people noticing things, and we point them out, and then she gets mad. I love it. I love the fact that we're so attuned to the finer details. Okay, here from Reddit Hag DX. Okay, this is a screenshot from the newer weigh-in video that she did. So she had 2 lives, and in both lives she was eating. That's another reason why I'm not doing a regular react to them, because I told y'all, I made a promise, no mukbang videos. And even though the lives with the eating are not really a mukbang, it's still close enough. I don't want to watch her eat, do you? No, not at all. So here she is in the newest video, and she's eating again. She talks about taking care of her health, blah, blah, blah. But yet you are employing the same habits that you've always had, including food with your content. How are you, someone who's got a problem with food, going to get over your problem or tame your problem when you are keeping up with bad habits, Foodie? Please explain that to me. I'll wait for the answer. But she's claiming to be 159 kilograms. Let me just look that up real quick. Do y'all mind if I take a second and look it up? I want to look it up. Kilograms to pounds. So 159 kilograms, eh? You are lying. Foodie, you are so lying. Okay, so for those that don't, you're not in front of your computer right now, 159 kilograms equals 350 pounds. You are not 350 pounds, ma'am. No. Because you were almost 400 pounds back when you were with BB. The last true weigh-in you did, and I showed it on my channel, 377 pounds. And anybody can look how you looked at that time versus now. You are not 350 pounds. That means you would be at a lighter weight than what you were then. And there's just no way. I don't even know why you bother lying, because video doesn't lie and pictures don't lie. But she's over there claiming to be 350 pounds. You know what, Chantal? We all know if it's a scale you have at home, you can find a way to make the number go down. We remember the scale that Pete's had back at the villa. It was pulled back about 100 pounds. He even said so. He showed us. So you must have done something to that scale. Maybe you're putting it on a floor that's uneven. Maybe you're just stepping on it with 1 foot. But if you want to go ahead and lie to the audience, that's fine. Do what you will, ma'am. Your content. But by lying to the audience and lying to yourself, that means you're not really committed to being held accountable. It's not really cultivating any self-awareness. And you're going to continue to be unhealthy and live in that fantasy world, which is doing you no good. So let's move on to the next thing. 350 pounds. Whatever. Okay. So here we go. Courtesy of Kristen. Kristen posted the video tags for this new video that I'm going to do a recap on. So we have Foodie Beauty, weigh-in, weight loss journey, losing 200 pounds naturally, healthy eating, mukbang, how to lose weight, exercise, Kuwait, Canada, Muslim, revert. Is there anything else? Eating food vlog. Can y'all spot the tags that really should not be in there if she were on a true health journey? Which one of those things does not belong or should not be there? Let's see. Mukbang. She's supposed to be on a health journey and she's doing a freaking mukbang. She's advertising for a mukbang. That should not be there. She tagged it with exercise, but there's no exercise going on in the video. She talks about being on a weight loss journey, but yet you haven't really lost any significant weight yet, Foodie. You're not really committed to it. So that shouldn't be there either. You're tagging it as Canada. You're tagging your home country of Canada, but you're not in Canada. You tag it with eating. Can you be more obvious that you are trying to subtly attract people who have the food fetish to your channel? I mean, obvious is obvious, Foodie, and you're being extremely obvious, tagging it with mukbang and eating and food. Girl, come on. Come on. Come on. Listen, you need to make a real decision here. Do you care about your health or don't you? It's your life. It's your health. Do as you will. But the messages that you're sending out are so mixed. Like you got one foot in one lane and one foot in the other. You're not staying in one lane. You're trying to straddle both. And I know why. It's because you want to put yourself in as many algorithms and attract as many people to your channel as possible. But the way you're going about it is really shady. Really shady. Attracting people to your channel that they may just be looking for people that are truly into health or truly looking for some kind of recovery or maybe even BED recovery, of which you are not. But you're attracting so many people to your channel. You're going out of your way to attract people, yet you're not doing quality content. You're just insisting on finding as many people to watch you eat. And trust me, it's not a pleasant experience. But yeah, thank you, Kristen, for posting the tags. There's Foodie just trying to put herself in all the algorithms because she really wants to get to 100K. Okay, next is Nana's Spiked Tea. This is a clip of Chantal. You're so hypocrisy. It was only one time, talking about Salah getting caught. Yet you found sexy photos of Salah's phone back in July. Her utter hypocrisy and contradictions are what drives me insane. So let's watch the clip from Nana's Spiked Tea.
Woman, I don't even like. He showed me like one. He's like, "What the fuck?" and he like blocked her. One woman, like I was checking his messages. I'm not gonna lie.
Like I was checking his messages. I'm not gonna lie.
And one woman's like bending over and like thinks she just because she bends over. Like number one.
Yeah, so this was back in July 15th, 2023. Is this a familiar pattern for you, Chantal? It should be because you've been here before. Same pattern with Natter. Didn't you catch him several times talking to different people and yet you forgave him over and over and over again because you were just so incredibly desperate? But way before whatever it is that happened in Thailand, because we all know something happened in Thailand. You talked about something explicit being on a TV history or something. The situation with Kybella is actually Salah's third offense. So here you are in July saying you being the jealous, insecure female, you went on his phone, you found some photos, and that wasn't enough to make you walk away. And then something happened in Thailand. That wasn't enough to make you walk away. Now he was talking to Kybella. That's still not enough. Every time you catch him in something, you find something, in a moment where you should walk away, you stick around. You absolutely stick around. And he knows that. He knows he can do just about anything. And your desperate self won't let him go. It gives him more room to be a bad boy. He just knows he has to be more careful about it. You know? But, and you know what? I think the reason why you stick with Salah is because there's no real relationship here. You just don't like being proved a fool. That's your number one thing, isn't it, Chantal? If you come up with some fake, phony story arc, you want to maintain that. It's about your pride. It's about your ego. It's about your narcissism. And nobody better interfere in that story arc, better interfere with that fantasy. It's also about control. If the two of you just have a business arrangement relationship, you want to maintain control over that. And you want him to stick around for as long as you want him to stick around. And the thought of another woman talking to him, there might be a chance that he might get bored with all of you and go elsewhere. If you know, and I think you do know, that he is a playboy, he's a little runaround, he's looking not just for women, But for women that have some sort of an income, he's looking to be a kept man. You don't want your kept on camera man to go run off to be with another woman, and that, in essence, ruins your story arc. So controlling another person for the sake of your channel, although at this point it's just freaking stupid because he's not even on camera anymore. Why maintain control over somebody if they're not really on camera with you? Okay, so enough with that. Let's move on over to the video, courtesy of Meandering Thoughts, called Foodie Beauty Meetin' Part 2. 4 weeks before Salah, she wanted to marry Meetin, break up after 1 day. It gives a lot of insight to Foodie. A lot of insight. And before we get started, though, a little word to Foodie and my subs. I don't know what's going on with Chantal right now. Maybe she's just bored and irritated. She's got nothing to do, although she has everything to do. It's just that she doesn't want to do the everything. She prefer to do the nothing. She keeps coming over to my channel and leaving nasty comments with her socks. She doesn't even have the courage to do it under her handle on her main channel. I know it was her because she left like 6 all in a row on the tarot live that I did, the last one. Foodie, you want to be a boss? Yeah. You want to show that you've got some courage? Do things as yourself. Don't hide. When I go into chat rooms, when I post on other people's videos, I do it as myself. If I've got something to say, I want people to know that it was me. I'm not going to use some phony identity. I don't know why you're coming to my channel in the first place. I would think you have more than enough to do. Things relating to your health, things relating to your fake marriage. Don't know why you're coming over here, girl. Don't know why you're bothering. I really don't. I don't know why you're giving my channel so much of attention, but maybe it's because of the tarot lives. For some reason, they bother you. You left a comment and reply to somebody under the handle Katy Perry. By the way, obvious is obvious. No, it's you. Saying, why do people believe this nonsense with the tarot cards? This is boring. Ma'am, let me tell you what boring is. Watching you eat. That's boring content. I can go into a live and I can talk to people and I can do the cards and people are being entertained. The same could not be said about your current content. Instead of coming over here causing problems or trying to cause problems, because honestly, I don't give an F about what you have to say. I really don't. You're not going to affect me and my channel. Stay in your own lane. Take care of your own business. All right. You talk about being busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. Girl, you're not that busy. You're not. You've got an addiction like nobody's business to YouTube. Being nosy. You're looking for ideas since you have none of your own. You look towards the reaction channels for ideas because you can't come up with some for yourself. You hate us, but you love us for the ideas, don't you? Yeah. Yeah, so stay over there. Stay over there, girl. You're ridiculous. You're so ridiculous. I could do a live and keep people entertained with a pack of tarot cards. You try to entertain people with food and it's boring. Fix it. So let's get into the video. Let's do it. Let me just stop the screen. Let's get going. All right. Okay. Yeah, because I asked in my last retro video, retro react, I said, who is Meetin? I can't keep track of Foodie's men. Some of them are real. Some of them are not real. You know, you don't even know who's real anymore. Oh my God. But Meandering Thoughts is here to straighten us out. And I appreciate that. Like, help me to keep a timeline of the Foodie Beauty lore. Like, there's too much that's happened. I can't keep up with her. All right, let's see what Foodie has to say about, is it Meetin or Meetin? No, Meetin. Her relationship with Meetin.
You know who? My special beezer. Stephanie, boss lady. I'm boss lady.
No, you're not. You could take that necklace right off. You are everything but a boss. The irony of her even wearing that. When we see how she is now, the irony of wearing a boss necklace when you're not a boss. Anything but.
See, Claire's says so. Not the chain. I wasn't gonna wear it. Pamela Riley got notified. Hi, Sherry. Come on, dude. Not the ugly boss chain. I know. Isn't it ugly? You guys think it's ugly? All right, all right. Now, I am gonna get one in gold. If I ever do a milestone, if I ever do something to be proud of, I'm gonna get a boss fucking. If I accomplish everything I wanted to accomplish and I can tick off everything on my list, I'm gonna get myself a boss
My God. Are y'all seeing this? Hold on.
bitch chain. I gotta be.
This is crazy. Looking at Foodie, the way she looked then versus how she looks now. Girlfriend had her makeup on. She had her wig on, okay? She had her nails done. When is the last time we've seen Foodie with her nails did? It's been so long. How did you fall so far, Chantal? For real, for real. How did you fall so far? When you were with BB, you had your nails always done, your makeup on, your hair nice. What happened? What in the, what happened to you? You had a little bit of pride for yourself during this time period, and it just disappeared.
Be quiet. So, here's what I want to do with my life. All right. I know you're wondering, okay, you guys couldn't handle, and this is clear. This is clear. You guys could not handle a full inside view of what goes on in my brain on a daily basis. So, basically, I tell you guys a lot, but there's also shower today, yes. And stop messaging my fucking boyfriend and telling him that I don't shower, okay? Well, you're supposed to be my wingman here.
But if people are messaging this person saying that you don't shower, why would they say that? What would give them that impression? Maybe it's you coming on camera and telling people you don't shower or looking completely unbathed. Maybe that's why.
Anyways, God. Hi, Lynn. So, all right. So, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So, my future plans, I want to be with this man, obviously. I want a man in my life who will love me, but who will have the same passion in life and ideas. So what I'm looking for is not just how you look, how much money you make, your all that crap, like your history, as long as pretty clean history, whatever. But I want to travel Canada. I think, that would be a really
Okay, she just said what she wants in a man. I want him to be this. I want him to be that. Did y'all notice what was missing? She's naming all the things she wants in a man, but she's not coming to the table and saying, in return, this is what I will offer. I will be there for him. I will be a good woman. I will be a great housekeeper. I will become more educated. I will be supportive. It's all about her. She's looking at that man and saying, you have these things that you must be for me. But her selfish, narcissistic, self-centered brain can't even compute about, oh, there's two people in this relationship. If they offer me things, maybe I should offer them things. I want them to be a pillar of strength for me and be wonderful. Maybe I should offer just as much and put it on the table. No, that's not how she thinks.
good thing. And I want to travel around, and I want to I want to have a couples channel. Like, I want to do a couples channel. I want to have a boyfriend.
Okay, Meandering says, yeah, this is how it started phase. We are now in the how it's going phase. Huge thanks to Kaipilla. You know, I don't know why, Chantal, you've always had an obsession with being on YouTube, and whoever that man is, he has to be on YouTube too. You are obsessed with putting your man on YouTube. I can't say exactly sure why. I can only speculate as the reasons to why. There might be many reasons, like you've got an ego, you're a narcissist. If you've got a man, you want to show off your man. Maybe that's part of the reason. Maybe part of the reason is because by putting him on YouTube, that gives you a certain degree of control over that man, a certain kind of influence, since whatever man you choose, you don't teach them everything they need to know about YouTube. You don't educate them on how to do their video content, how to do editing, how to do the voiceovers and the music. So if you make a channel on YouTube for the man in your life and put him on it, he's going to need your help. And he's never going to be able to get rid of you because he's going to depend on you to help with the content. That could be another reason why. You could do it for bragging rights. Oh, me and my man are on YouTube. There are lots of YouTubers that have relationships. They don't put them on YouTube. They keep them private. Their YouTube stuff is their YouTube stuff. Their private stuff is their private stuff. You know, like there's a line drawn in the sand and there's something on one side and not the other. But that's not how you play. I would think you would have learned your lesson by now, because every guy you come in contact with, you make them a channel, or if they already have one, you send people over there. You did it with Pete's. You know, send people over to Pete's channel. He was once your man. You did it to Natter. You did it to Roman. I mean, anybody that's in the Foodieverse for 5 minutes gets a channel. Or if they don't already have a channel, that channel gets promoted. People are sent over to that channel. And if for some reason they tick you off, then you're going to bash them. And in some cases, some of the men are just utterly forgotten. Nobody talks about them anymore because they've got nothing to say, like Roman. So you really want to integrate your YouTube persona with your personal life. Try to mix the two and profit off the two. And it's always a big mistake. Always. I mean, look at Salah. Latest guy in the Foodieverse. Had a gaming channel. You promoted the crap out of that. You did the couples channel with him. Well, that's a done deal. That's dead in the water. Can't do couples content now. You know, he's just basically in the back doing the filming and not saying anything. On top of that, if he ever tried to get away from you physically, his online social media presence is ruined forever, because your names are forever linked together. Where they find him, they're going to find you. But you just had this obsession with being in a couple situation and both of you being on the same platform and talking them up. That doesn't ever turn out well, does it? No, it really doesn't. Maybe you should stop.
In public, and I want to do videos, and I want to look all mushy, and I want to do things together, and I want to basically be another Carly and Josh. Okay.
Oh, that was telling. That was so, oh, hold on a minute. Wow. So that's it. The first part was her talk, basically confessing to her own ego. The second part, I want to be another Carly and Josh. Carly and Josh are a couple. They do content together. They're an actual couple who love each other. So Chantal is in competition with Carly and Josh. There's that envy thing. There's that covet thing. You guys ever hear that word covet? where you see something and you want it, covet. She covets what they have. She covets the fact that Carly and Josh are a real life couple who do YouTube content, wants to be like them. There's that competitiveness in Chantal. If they're doing something, I want to do something, versus looking at herself and saying, I want to do this because I believe in it. I got a passion for it. She doesn't look inside and do things that she really wants to do, that like something deep down here saying, we have to do this because we want to do it, versus being envious and wanting something that somebody else has. Envy is an ugly emotion, isn't it? It's ugly. When you walk around with envy in your heart, because it's an ugly emotion, it makes you ugly, no matter how pretty you are outside. Envy and jealousy and insecurity. Ooh, that's the unholy trinity of negative emotion. And she's got all three. They're doing it, so I want to do it. Yeah, but the difference is they love each other for real. Carly isn't paying Josh to be her husband or pretend everything on camera, but you are. And people can pick that up instantly. They can feel that fake, phony energy. But still you try. Still you try to make something that ain't there.
So why do I have to, like, why can't this be a life dream of mine? Why can't this be a life dream?
So Meandering says, well, it turned into a nightmare. Can you imagine? Meaton dumped her after a day. We would have him in the videos, and to me, the guy looked scary. I forget what Meaton looked like. Like I said, I have trouble keeping up with all of Foodie's men. I need an entire computer file on all her men. All the names, back-to-back names and mentions. It's like, who is who anymore? You know, so she was with this, talking to this guy, Meaton, talk about, I love this guy, and then they break up after a day. She doesn't even wait to see if the relationship is working out before mentioning him on her channel. She's just a big old fool.
Why can't it happen? We can be a bees and couples channel. But I realized that the Sarah family channel, yes. I promise you we won't get all religious and weird, okay?
Meandering says, a month later, it got all religious and weird with Salah, including Chantal, telling us that you can see are a thing and they are honor-based civilizations, and who are we to judge? Plus, she let us know before going to Kuwait for the first time that Salah told her, I'll blank you if I see your leg. So yeah, all religious and weird. Look, I have nothing to say about what goes on in Kuwait. I don't live there. All right. But I guess that was said. But I do remember it was very strange. In the beginning, when Salat was hanging out with Chantal, she just said the word but. And he was sitting next to her, and he kind of like kicked her under the table. How far we've come. So before, he was very uncomfortable with her saying the word but. And yet, if she gets on camera now and she's using full out profanity, no problem with that. If she does videos and live streams smoking or committing gluttony or gossiping, all of which are haram, he's okay with it. He's absolutely okay with it. As far as her mukbangs, he helps her with that gluttony. He gets the food for her. He delivers it. So it's strange how he went from just something very small being offensive to him to all of these really offensive things. He's just turning the other way.
Zahara, no, it's not going to be one of those family channels. It's going to be like, I don't know. So, I mean, let's just give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm stubborn. I'm going to do what I do. And, we're just going to try and make this a thing. Now, to be healthier and happier, I do have to make certain lifestyle changes. You know this.
And here, this is part of the cycle. This is part of the Chantal cycle. If she is alone, she's not motivated to make change, to do things for herself. She doesn't take the time to stop and stand still and say, what do I need to do to make myself a better person? The universe is screaming at her, work on yourself, focus on yourself. Take some time for you. Stop giving away to other people what you should keep for yourself. There's an old saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. Chantal's been empty for years. As far as spiritually, she's been empty. She's got nothing in there, and yet she will not put something in there. The only thing she puts inside of her body is food and party favors. But the only time you see any kind of change in her is when a man is involved. She's motivated by a man, keeping a man around, impressing a man. And because of that, the changes never, ever last. She'll always revert back to her original self.
To be your challenge. Well, Charlotte, nobody's financing anything at this time. But yes, he will finance his own way. Everything will be taken care of. But we haven't even gotten there. We're just like, it's just new. Exorcism of Creepy Doll. Why does he look like The Rock? Alyssa! Oh yeah, I unblocked everybody. No, I didn't. Not everybody. Shut up. No. I know you guys are skeptical. I tried to explain this because he doesn't understand why people are messaging him talking about money, because it wasn't until recently that I told him about YouTube, and he doesn't.
I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. Anybody else believe that Chantal didn't immediately throw the fact that she was a YouTuber with a big channel and her money in that man's face immediately? I mean, I just posted the retro react where she put in the title, Who Wants Citizenship? Trying to use citizenship and the fact that she has money to attract a man and to get into a relationship. Chantal's very proud of the fact that she has a channel. She will not shut up about it. She likes to say, I'm a public figure. I'm the queen of girl world. That is her only thing to brag about. Of course, that is going to be mentioned. She's not a good person. She doesn't have any redeeming qualities. She can't brag about those and make those a talking point. So she uses the financial talking points as talking points to impress men. She can't go up to a man and say, well, I have a college degree in whatever. I'm majoring in whatever. I own my own business and I'm motivated and I'm doing things and I like to play tennis and hockey for hobbies. All of those things she could use for talking points if they existed. Positive attributes about herself that she could use to make conversation with men, to keep men interested. But it's always about the freaking money. So I don't believe you, Chantal. I really don't believe that the whole YouTube thing did not come up.
Doesn't even know how much money I make. So
lies.
He's honestly, when I say this to you, he's never mentioned money, never mentioned. He's not lewd and gross and talks about like sexy, like stuff like that. Like he's very respectful. And I really like that. He's got like traditional values and I'm not like that. So this will be interesting, but I feel like there's some things I want to change about myself anyways. Like I want to be more healthy. I want to be with someone who's accepting me as I am, but also wants to grow with me and become a better person.
You can't have your foot in two opposite lanes and expect to go anywhere. You just said, I want this man to accept me the way that I am, and yet I also want him to motivate me to positive change. How are both possible at the same time? How can you do both at the same time if you are completely feral and savage and wild on one side and you want to keep that around? How can you keep it around and make positive change and be a completely different person? It doesn't work, Chantal. I mean, you're in Kuwait right now with Salah, and you told us all these things about you felt closer to Allah in Kuwait, that you're more at peace in Kuwait. You have this person beside you that's supposed to be your husband. You've got all the reason in the world, according to you, to change. You're in a different environment. You're away from some of your vices that you could have access to in Canada. Not all the temptations have been removed, but some of them. And yet, when you went to Kuwait, what happened? You gained over 150 pounds. You are bigger than you've ever been. You are more unhealthy than you've ever been. So what happened? You changed the scenery, you changed the environment, but not the situation. And you want to know why? Nothing happened, nothing good? Because you brought all your problems with you. Wherever you go, there you are. If you got a mess in your head, it don't matter where you travel to in the world, the mess goes with you. That is luggage that stays with you. And the only way to fix it is to unpack it, get the mess out. And you didn't. So all of your issues in Canada followed you to Kuwait. And if you go to Thailand, they'll follow you there. And if you go to Europe, they'll follow you there. And if you go to Cuba again, they'll go there with you. The only way they don't follow you is if you solve those problems to where they're not problems anymore. But stop looking towards men to unpack your luggage. They can't. They don't have the ability. That's up for you to do. That's work you have to do.
Lifestyle change number 1, ditching the comfy cat scratch chair and pretending you always sit in the dining room chair. Wasn't until recently that you met. What? Charlotte? Anyways. Whatever. Okay, what are we going to cook? Oh, I got to cook today. I'm just joking. He asked you to be his third wife. Actually, I seen all the messages, and in them, he was being so nice and sweet, saying he was taken and everything. Right?
Another pattern. So Meandering says, interesting. So he already had to show her screenshots of his messages to other women, and she thinks she saw all of them as always. Oh, what is that old saying I'm thinking of right now? Fool me once, shame on me. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. How many times has Chantal been fooled? So she's interested in Meaton. He's talking to other women. She knows about it, but she thinks she's smarter than the average female. She thinks, oh, I saw all of them. No, ma'am. No, you didn't. No. Where there's one, there's more. Where there's smoke, there's fire. But it don't matter if you saw just one message from another woman, or two, or three. If you're talking to a man and he's got messages from other women on his phone, and they are not of a platonic, this is just a good friend nature, maybe that's what he wants to do with his life, is just play around. He's not ready to commit. He's not ready for marriage. Some people are perfectly happy just having casual encounters with people and just keeping things casual. And that's their happy place. but you are just running around looking for someone to marry you or claim you. So if you encounter somebody like that, they're a playground. Obviously, that is not the one for you, no matter what they look like. Obviously, you guys are on two different paths, and you can't force someone to be something they're not. You can't force them to feel what they don't feel and what they're not going to feel. You're just wasting your time.
Message Breezy for engagement ring. Aw. That whole situation is nuts. I am not getting involved in it. I don't even know what to say. Like, honestly, I feel bad because I know she's probably not. Here's the thing. Like,
By the way, you know what? I am so rude. I am so rude, and I apologize. Like, I haven't drank all my coffee yet. Much appreciation to Meandering Thoughts for posting this video. I forgot to say that, and I'm so sorry, Meandering. But thank you for posting this archive video.
a lot of reactors don't like when the spotlight is turned on them. That's why they're reactors. If they wanted to be in the spotlight, they would be other YouTubers. They would be doing their life.
You know what? The same could be said about you, Chantal. The same could be said in your situation. You come on YouTube and you make these ridiculous story arcs that make no sense. And you tell lies to people, big lies, little lies. You lie when you don't have to. You tell lies knowing that they're lies, knowing that girl world is nosy. We are detectives over here. We notice all the details. So you tell a lie knowing it's a lie, knowing that people are going to investigate your lies, because all we want is the truth. That's it. We just want to know the truth. And you won't give it to us, even though it would be so much simpler than telling a lie. We're just looking for the truth. And if you don't give it to us, we'll find it. We'll check out those little fine details, like the person earlier on Twitter. Doggone it. How did I miss it? I feel stupid right now. Like, where are all your new clothes? Where are the new shoes? Why are you still wearing those busted up Skechers that probably aren't comfortable? You lie when you don't have to lie. So when the spotlight gets turned on you and people expose your lies, the bigger the lie, the more the exposure, the more you have a meltdown. You don't like it when a light is shown onto the shadow of your lies. You hate it.
So I understand her being like, please don't cover me, because it's probably overwhelming for her. Like, there's a lot of feelings involved. So I do feel bad about that. And I just don't like kicking people when they're down. Like, that doesn't give me pleasure. So
that's not true. That is absolutely not true. She'll kick anybody, anytime, anywhere, for any reason. You don't even have to make Chantal angry. She just has to be irritated at you. She'll kick just for the pleasure of kicking. Didn't she talk about FFG's mom, bringing her mom up after FFG lost her mother? I mean, that was a low blow. Talking about FFG and her former pets, that's another low blow. I don't like kicking people when they're down, but you will. And you'll do it with a smile on your face. So that's another lie you're telling. You've got that mean girl soul personality, Chantal. You always have. You're not a nice person. You try to lie to yourself and say, I'm a nice person, but your actions speak otherwise. There's no line that you won't cross to hurt someone, to manipulate someone, to use someone, to make money on YouTube. There is no bottom with you. It's an abyss with a hole that stretches dark and deep, and there is no end to it. Meandering also says, it always gives you pleasure. You just didn't want to talk about her online relationship that went south because your 2-day online relationship with a scammer. Right. So she knew that if she brought up the situation with Garlic and Just Breezin', that since her relationship only went on for 2 days, that would be pointed out, and then she would look the fool. So that was the only reason it didn't come up, because she would look like a bigger fool.
Oh, I have nothing to say about it. You know. Yeah. Well, hasn't Menton blocked you yet? No, Flop Era.
Not yet.
But I mean, people obviously have messaged him a lot, and we're like, you know, watch out for her, blah blah blah. But then there was like people saying like, oh, people just don't listen to them, blah blah blah. You know the usual. Every time I meet someone new, they go through this whole rigmarole, and
you still haven't learned your lesson about that. You must be the biggest idiot fool ever born. You would think someone who has got a channel on YouTube, a YouTuber, that has made it their business to be the most despised person on YouTube, all due to their content and the tone of their content, would understand that because you are on YouTube with this persona, this despisable, offensive, vulgar, feral persona, that you would learn to keep your mouth shut. Just zip it. Don't say anything. Don't say the person's name. Don't give any details. But the narcissist in you, the self-centered, self-absorbed, selfish child in you that is desperate for anything to brag about, in a moment of ego, you brag about it and you overshare and you say too much. And then what happens? Girl world goes looking. Girl world finds. Girl world exposes. It's just a formula. You talk, we listen. People go hunting around for things. They find them. I remember back when you were with Natter, you referred to him as Dom, which is like, whatever, Dom. But then you actually showed his name and his number on your phone. You showed it to the camera and said, see here, I'm talking Natter. You gave way too much away about him. The fact that he was a cook on a ship and this, that, and the other thing. He was Egyptian. You were giving a lot of details up. Now, if you had shut your mouth and not overshared, nobody would have been able to know who he was. And if you hadn't put it on YouTube, nobody would have had anything to say to him or about him, but you did. You eagerly put him in the spotlight. You put Pete in the spotlight. You put Salah in the spotlight. Knowing what that would lead to. Knowing that people would reach out to them. Knowing that people would talk about them. Because you were so eager for a co-pilot. You caused all the problems for yourself.
I will admit, hi Karen. Like I said, when Dee Dee told people to stop talking about her, when you put yourself out there online, you open the door to be talked about, where you're a public figure, the public can voice their opinions.
Right.
Yeah, like this is the thing. Like that's the thing with Dee Dee. She doesn't understand.
And another thing. Thank you for bringing up the name Dee Dee. She likes to go after the reaction channels, saying that we mess up her life, we ruin her life. Yet there's a history, isn't there, of Beezers. One Beezer, Dee Dee. Because she made a point to bring Natter onto YouTube. Dee Dee came to know about Natter. Dee Dee reached out to Natter. And it ended up that Natter lives with Dee Dee now. Has lived with her for quite a long time. Enter Salah. The newest one. She put him on YouTube. And because she put him on YouTube and made him a part of her main channel and the couples channel and the gaming channel, what happened? Another Beezer stepped forward. Salah reached out to her. He committed the ultimate sin, not only talking to other women, but that big, stupid, tall drink of water idiot, talking to a Beezer and got caught. So you like to wag your finger and yell at us, Chantal, but in 2 cases now, it was a Beezer who committed the ultimate sin against you. Yet you just can't stop yourself from bringing them onto YouTube.
Understand that. Like, exactly. Since you became a public person and now you even have a channel, you cannot tell me not to talk about you. Now, I don't sit here. And quite frankly, I never did a live stream where I'm just like all about Dee Dee just to bash Dee Dee. That was never my intention. Just
What was your intention? Because there were Chantal, do you think we've forgotten history? Do you think we don't remember? I remember Crackhead Olympics. I remember how things went down. How you and Natter were practically tag teaming each other. You would go live directly after your live. He would go live. After he was done, you would go live again. I think the two of you were on the phone planning the whole doggone thing. And you were doing it for the purpose of money. And yes, you made a lot of money during that time period, but also during that time period, you kept flip-flopping back and forth. You do a bunch of live streams going after Dee Dee, yelling at her, doxing her, even doxed her mother who was in a nursing facility, giving the addresses out. And then you do like one or two streams where I sympathize with Dee Dee. And the very next stream you would call her names and say, oh, like you took my man away, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I remember. I do. You know, like it was never my intention. Well, what exactly is your intention? What exactly is it? I don't even think you know.
to bash Dee Dee. Like, obviously, I have a very legitimate reason to be.
And another thing, once you came to know about the Sam's Bar Lounge channel, which there are seriously strong rumor that you are behind the Sam's Bar Lounge channel. I don't know how I feel about that, but when you heard about the Sam's Bar Lounge channel and the content showing Natter allegedly doing things to Dee Dee, which I've got questions about that. I do, because to me it looked like narrated role play, like somebody on the phone was telling them what to do. That's just my opinion. But when you heard about that content and Dee Dee potentially, allegedly getting hurt, you were gloating about it and saying, I hope that he hurts her. What person who's been through that kind of trauma would say that about somebody else going through it? Another reason why I doubt your claims about dealing with DV.
Pissed off and hate Dee Dee and Natter. So anything I talked about them online, very angrily and very emotionally upset. Obviously, look what they put me through.
No, stop right there. What you put yourself through. Let's make that clear. Miss, I want to be a victim so badly that I'll make up trauma that never even happened. Let's make that clear. You put yourself through it. I don't think you've been a victim of anything ever. But regarding Natter, the moment you found out he was talking to other women, that he was a play around, run around, you could have cut that off easily. You could have stopped giving him money, stopped buying him gifts, stopped driving over to his house, blocked his number, not talked about him on your channel ever again, and that would have been that. At that time, you had your own home, your channel, your money. You had that power in your possession. But you kept going back. And you kept self-inflicting the hurt, putting yourself through it. Because you just couldn't get away from him. So stop trying to paint this picture of he put me through so much and I was forced and I had no choice. You always had a choice. You always had a choice, Chantal. And since you like to claim that you're a DV victim, let me give you some facts about that. A lot of people who are involved in a DV situation, a lot of the times the reason why they stay is they're so intimidated, they're afraid if they leave, what will happen if they're the person who's hurting them finds them. They're afraid of the consequences. Also, they stay because they don't have anywhere else to go. They have no friends, they have no family, they have no money, they have no resources. That's another thing that separates you from real victims. and real survivors. Because you were around Natter, and if you experienced any kind of moment that was scary, you could have put a stop to it, and you didn't. You kept going back. So whatever was going on must not have been that bad because you kept going back. I'm absolutely certain and positive that if something serious had happened, you would have stayed away. All those things you said online about he did this and he did that, you were talking about it with an audience of thousands, which no DV victim can truly do because you're reliving it in your head. Fake, phony victim. He didn't put you through anything. You put yourself through stuff, which is why I have no sympathy for you. And on that note, let's bring up the current situation. Salah. So you're in Kuwait right now with a man who's a runaround. He's actively looking for someone to replace you. Not just a woman that he's attracted to, but the one who has money. You know this about him. And yet you are choosing to fly over there and be with him and live in misery versus make the right choice for yourself and get away from it. So any sadness, depression, anger that goes on, it's self-inflicted because you had a choice to get away from it.
But, you know, I'm not going to just sit here and just keep bashing them over and over and over and over, beating a dead horse. Anyway, what was I talking about? No, you cannot message him. Do not harass him. Girl, you are a catch the way you are. I have to act.
You know, she tells people in her chat, don't harass him. Don't bother this gentleman meeting. She tells her audience, don't message him right now. But she's got a pattern that if you are a man in Chantal's life, even from afar, if she doesn't like you or things go south, she will use the fact that she's got a channel and turn her audience into her own personal army to harass you, to go after you, possibly dox you, cause you some sort of problems. There are people in Chantal's audience that they are diehards and they're so devoted to Chantal. God, I don't know why, but they want to earn brownie points with her and they will do anything for her and she will let them. She's always had this nasty habit of letting other people do her dirty work. Imagine a chessboard and all the pawns in front. The queen is at the back. She is that queen piece at the back who does never move. She'll let the pawns go first and take all the damage, and she'll be in the back of the chessboard saying, wasn't me. I wasn't involved. I'm not going to get involved. They want to do this for me. I'm not going to stop them. So they'll do the damage for her while her channel stays safe. Her income stays safe. She's always got her eye on her money because that's all she's got left. Now, she'll sacrifice other people for her cause, but she'll never fight the fight herself.
Differently? How will you feel when Dee Dee steals your man? Messaged you last night. Oh, she's not going to steal shit.
She's not going to steal anything. Oh, really? Oh, really? It looks like she did. Because he's still with her. He's still with Dee Dee. And let's tell the truth, Chantal. That was the one you really, really wanted. I think all the time you've been with Salah, you had Natter in your heart. That if Natter and Dee Dee ever split up, and Natter made one phone call to you and said, I am not with Dee Dee anymore, you would hightail your big self back to back to Canada. You'd be shacking up with him because that's the one you really want. I think you settled for Salah. And you know what happens when you settle for something? You're never truly happy with it, nor it with you. So you're over in Kuwait thinking of Natter, still got Natter on the brain. And Salah, for his part, he's thinking of every other woman but you, talking to every other woman but you. Is that any one of the two of you idiots are unhappy? Neither one of you want each other for real. But you couldn't have Natter, so you decided to settle for someone else. Pick someone else. Maybe that was kind of punishment to Natter. Maybe you're trying to get him back or make him jealous or make him feel a certain kind of way by putting out the impression, hey, I'm the sugar mama. I got the sugar. And if I gave it to you, I'll give it to somebody else. Maybe you're trying to manipulate Natter to let go of Dee Dee so that he'll latch on to you. And that did not work. So you tried it. You tried to make him jealous, bringing up Salah, showing Salah, talking about Salah on your channel while you were in Canada, probably hoping that at some point Natter would break and let go of Dee Dee. But by then, you created this whole arc of going to Kuwait, being with Salah, and you had to follow through with it. And so you have. And it led to all the misery that you inflicted upon yourself.
Honestly, like, she did not steal Natter. Natter was given back to her.
Yeah, rewrite history. I will agree with Chantal on one point. I rarely agree with her, but she is right. One person cannot steal another person away. A person is not an object. It's not a pair of shoes or a necklace or a ring. It is a human soul. Bad, good, in between. It's still a human soul that has its own sense of free will. So the idea of stealing somebody from somebody, it just doesn't wash, does it? People go where they want to go. They do what they want to do. And apparently Natter did not want to be with you for any amount of money because you offered him money and he still said no. Maybe that should give you a clue about how horrible you are, that even though you were willing to pay him, he still said no. Imagine that, a crackhead saying no to a bunch of money. That's pretty bad.
So, yeah. You want to cheat and you want to lie? Have each other. Why?
You can't cheat on somebody you were never truly with. You guys were seeing each other for 1 week, and that was it out of the entire year, yet you kept bringing up the cheating. Cheating only applies when you're in a relationship and you are committed to each other at some point. He was never really with you, Chantal, but you're trying to, again, rewrite history, repaint the picture of he cheated. He never cheated. Natter never hid who he was. He never hid it. It's just that you weren't paying attention or you did not want to pay attention. He was always upfront. He was a jerk, straight up jerk. He never put on airs. He was never a phony in front of you, but you were a phony in front of him. In the beginning of the relationship, you were putting on airs about yourself. You made sure to have your makeup on and your hair done and putting on the lotion on your chest and putting on the body spray, acting like you cared about yourself. And then you started to revert back to your real self. So you approached him being a phony. And you thought after a while with the money and making him dependent on the money that you could be your natural self and he would just accept it. He never truly did. He was disgusted by it. Hence part of the reason I think he said no to a relationship with you, even though money was involved. But he always showed you who he was. What's that saying? When somebody shows you who they are, pay attention. You never paid attention to that.
Why miserable? Riley. No, he's not a stranger. He's my future husband.
Talk to a guy for a day online and he is not a stranger and your future husband. Yeah, you're delusional. I'm sorry. I've been married twice, divorced twice, because both my husbands were jerks, hence why I'm divorced. But it takes more than a day to make a relationship. It takes more than a week to make a relationship. It takes more than a few months sometimes. You got to get to know the person, all of them. You got to know every side of them. You got to be connected to them. You got to know their good side, their bad side, their ugly side, how they get mad, when they get mad, what ticks them off, what they enjoy, what they don't enjoy. Get to know everything. Gather all the facts, all the information. Get the gist of that person. Once you gather like all kinds of information, then make the decision. Is this the one for me or isn't it? Like, just take inventory of everything you know. Make sure there's a long list so you got all kinds of stuff to work with. You don't base it off a day. You're not going to find out a lot in a day.
That's okay, comfort, yeah. He's not a stranger, ma'am. You don't even know how old he is. Yes, I do. I'm just not going to tell you. Not a scammer. No, he's not young. He's close to my age. Barbecue Chicken just dropped a Chantal has a new man vid. Finally, look. Maybe I was just looking for someone to claim me. I'm just joking.
Boom. I'm looking for someone to claim me. Yeah, she did that with Natter. She was so desperate for Natter to claim her. And I think the whole claim thing, that has to do with her ego. It really does. She's a narcissist, our girl. Big time narcissist. She wants a man who will claim her, publicly claim her, and say, this is my woman. Just be out and out with it. She doesn't want to be a dirty secret, although her behavior makes her one. She's not a woman in any respect that a man would be proud of. She has no positive attributes that a man could brag about. She wants a man to claim her. She's obsessed with Natter claiming her. Yet she's put herself in a position with her behavior that no man would want to.
No, I honestly really, 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 really like this person. And Beezer, we claim you, Janet. I know, but I feel like the minute I show interest in a man or a man shows interest in me, all these friggin' people have to go and run and be like, blah, 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 blah. As if anybody has never done anything bad in their life.
You know, I don't know who these people are that were reaching out to, say, Meaton or anybody else, but maybe the reason why people were reaching out to let them know about these things about yourself that we know is because they know how manipulative you are. They know what a troublemaker you are. They know how unhinged you are. So if that man in any respect is a good man, they're saying, hey, do you know all this stuff? Are you aware of all this stuff? They're trying, if there's a good man, they're trying to stop that good man from having Hurricane Chantal come in and wreck and ruin their life and get obsessive and clingy and insecure and jealous and just being a wrecking ball. Maybe that's why. Because you're not going to represent yourself authentically. You're going to put on a version of yourself where you can be accepted by that man and try to lure him into your web and get him trapped. And some people have a sense of conscience and humanity. And when they see a bad person like you, they don't want a bad person like you hurting potentially a good person and causing damage. That's called being human, Chantal. It's called one person caring about another. Even though two people may not care about each other on a personal level, you still care. You're still concerned.
FFG said Mitten arc is because you're jealous of Garlic getting attention. Do you think I'm going to be single forever? Why?
Yep, sure do. I feel that way. I do think you're going to be single forever. You should be single forever until you work on yourself and you improve yourself to where you are a good person, which that's going to take a lifetime of work. There's too much to do. But you should be single forever. You got a lot of work to do on yourself, honestly.
You guys know how long I've been looking for the right man in my life, right? And
yeah, but you're not suitable for the right man. You're not. You've had two decent guys in your life that loved you, really loved you. Pete loves you. You are his favorite person. Look at what you did to Pete. Like, listen, I don't like Pete. I don't. I really don't like Pete. The way he treated BBJ, grabbing on her head, saying no mercy, being complicit with the neglect that he saw being inflicted on her, and he didn't say anything. I don't like Pete. I don't. But to be fair, Pete did love Chantal. And he went through a lot because of her, as she put him through a lot. She wrecked and ruined his credit, taking his money, cheating on him repeatedly, broke his heart, just completely just mentally messed him up. And then there was BB, another really good, honest, hardworking man. Cheated on him. But BB was the smart one and said, get out. Can't take all of you. You're not worth it. Got rid of her. But she's already had good men in her life. And she wrecked and ruined both of them. So even if she had a good man in front of her right now that honestly, truly loved her, she wouldn't appreciate that man. She would not hold him dear and treat him with respect and talk to him with respect. She doesn't respect herself. How could she respect another? How can someone as selfish and self-centered as Chantal, who loves herself only, is concerned about her wants and needs, ever consider another person's feelings or another person's passions or dreams? She won't. So if she's not with toxic people who use her and she uses them back, what's the alternative? Being with a good man that she might cause all kinds of damage. She's done it twice, she would do it again. So no, you don't deserve nor need a good man. And I'm sick and tired of the Beezers telling her, you deserve better. No, she don't. She's getting exactly what she deserves. She's getting exactly what she asked for and what she paid for. If she's not willing to work on herself, she deserves the worst because she is the worst.
This man talked to me with passion in his voice. And honest, I could just sense something about him, honest, you know? So for me, you're just taking any attention. Yeah. I need a guy as passionate. Listen, I get attention all day. Look, just before I met this guy, just before I met Metin, I was talking to the hottest Turkish man in the world in Montreal. Closer, available, had his own place. Looked very similar to him, actually. Everything I wanted. I didn't do it because I like this person. And just because they're in another country, I'm going to...
Did you reject the local man for the abroad man because the local man, he's established, he's independent, he don't need you, you can't control him? Is that why? I think so. I think you like to keep up the illusion as long as possible until you feel that you've trapped the man into a relationship. Like you'll keep up the illusions as long as you have to until that point of the man feeling trapped.
Make it work somehow, you know? And I'm going to start walking and we're going to do exercises as well. Anyone can talk with passion. That's true. If your intentions with me are not pure, I will sense it. Because I have a sixth sense now.
You have a sixth sense or a sick sense? If you said sick sense, I believe you. You're a sick person.
You're dealing with people who, you know, don't always have the best of intentions. When is your new Russian spy boyfriend arriving in Canada? Russian spy? Anyways, you guys, I'm going to be going to visit him first, probably anyways, so we'll just see. He sounds Russian? Who sounds Russian? I know, I have to be presentable now. Are you FaceTiming Metin with us on live? We heard the Metin voice clips. He does sound similar to Roman. When I think of that, now I can't unhear it. Thanks. But no, I don't think he'll be comfortable with that right now. I don't know. I mean, how would we FaceTime him? I don't know. The voice clips sound like he doesn't even know you. Oh my God, your picture, Shant.
Meandering says, I honestly don't remember any voice clips. If anybody knows where they are posted, who posted them, please let me know in the comments. Were there any voice clips? I don't remember any.
Toddler. Well, we're still getting to know each other. Of course, it's a new relationship.
If you're just getting to know each other, it's not even close to a relationship yet. I don't know why you're obsessed with moving so fast, Chantal. Like you are a fast mover. Like one day you start talking to a guy, the next day you want to get married. Why are you moving so fast? Is it that I have to trap him mindset? Like I can't let him get to know me because once he gets to know me, he's going to get turned off and run away. Is that what's going on? Like you are in a rush to just bypass the getting to know you part, get right to the marriage part. If a guy puts a ring on your finger and claims you, then he can't get rid of you. Let me tell you something. Even if you were to get actually married, even if there was a real ring on your finger and you walked down the aisle and said, I do, doesn't mean that a man can't get rid of you. I don't know why you think that's a fail-safe plan for keeping a man with you, because a man can walk into a relationship, he can walk right back out. Just always focused on trapping a man with her.
You know? No. She wants my man. He'll never deviate.
Wrong. He'll never deviate. How many times have you said that about every man you've been involved with? You said that about Nader. Didn't he deviate? You said about that Salad. Didn't he deviate? Seems like all these men take the shortcut around you whenever possible.
I'm the best.
No, you're not.
I'm just kidding. I'm not the best, but I'm the best for him.
No, you're not.
That's what matters. Nader wasn't the best for me, obviously. He's the best for nobody, but apparently.
This is where you and I disagree. I think Nader was your perfect match. He really was. If there was ever a soulmate for Chantal, it would be Nader. Because they're both equally wretched. In my opinion, I think Nader was the male version of Chantal, that when she looked at Nader, what she was looking at was not a man, but the male version of herself. And she was both equal parts obsessed with that reflection and horrified by that reflection. Anytime she talked to Nader, hung out with Nader, had interactions with Nader, she was basically looking in the mirror, and she doesn't like looking in mirrors. She doesn't like facing the truth. Nader was the male version of you, Chantal. He was just as sleazy, easy, manipulative, conning, scamming, just selfish-minded as you. You were dealing with the male side of yourself. And you were obsessed with it and at odds with it. But there was a life lesson in that. That was life, bringing somebody in front of you, saying, this is everything you are. This is everything you should stay away from. This is the reason why you need to improve. And yet you did not pick up on the lessons.
For duty. Panel with Mitten, Malon, Nader, Pete, Roman, and S-Jam. Yeah. All my ex-boyfriends. S-Jam is like, what? Nader was the worst. Yeah. He says I was the worst girlfriend he ever had. Worse than Delphine. Yeah, he thinks that. Put him in the trap house. No, he's not mad. Why would he downgrade to Dee Dee? You don't go back to return the.
You know, I don't want to bring up those who are not here with us. I want to be respectful, but I'm just saying this to only give context. So if anybody hears the name Delphine, please don't go on Facebook and look around for her and her family members. I'm sure they're still in a time of grieving, but just for context alone, for those that do not know, Natter, before Chantal, he had a girlfriend named Delphine, who was hardworking and everything, but unfortunately, she passed away. I believe it was from, I think, a heart attack. But this, I saw a picture of Delphine long ago. I'm not going to show it here on my channel. I don't even have it. But what struck me about the way that Delphine looked, she could have been a dead ringer for Chantal. I mean, they could have been twin sisters. So Natter dated someone who looked a lot like Chantal, and then he got with Chantal. I just said that for context only. For those who do not know some of the history of the Natter Chantal lore.
The cake. It's Dee Dee's not a downgrade for him. Look, okay. Think of it this way. Like he told me, she is his fucking secretary, his mom, his everything. She does not say no to him. She does everything for him. Everything. Even just notice his little, like, I don't know. So she puts up with his shit and I don't. That's the difference. And that makes a big difference because when you're with him, there's a lot of shit to put up with.
Same with you. Meandering says she's not wrong about that. And also that Dee Dee is an even bigger doormat than she is. Well, Natter, he doesn't want a dominant attitude, personality type woman. He doesn't want a brat. Chantal's a brat. She's an overgrown brat. He wants a woman who is more laid back, which Dee Dee is. She's more laid back than Chantal. And I think that's where her and Natter butted the most heads, the most times, is the fact that they are both too much alike. Too much alike in all the wrong ways. They're both narcissists with huge egos and wanting attention and wanting to be in control. So you got two narcissistic control freaks locking horns over who has the most control and playing tug of war all the time and playing games with each other to get the control. That's where all that drama came from.
When did I last speak to BB? Actually, I talked to BB today. Why do all my boyfriends look like Natter? They don't. I don't find at all. I don't find that. Well, no. Roman, no. Metin doesn't look like Natter.
Meandering says, but they do look similar and you know it. That's what you were looking for. And then you found Salah. He looks exactly like Pete's. He does. Oh my, listen, I was on Twitter and somebody put a picture superimposed over Salah's face. The similarities are eerie. It was almost dead on. Like Pete's face and Salah's face, down to the look in the eyes, is the same. So, as I mentioned before, everybody's got their own built-in aesthetics of what they find attractive to the eye. Apparently, Chantal has key things that she looks for and that she finds attractive. So when she looks at a man and she sees those key aesthetic things, she goes right for it. She always goes for a similar look in men. Like she's got a list of things that, you know, you check off the boxes and she's going to be messaging you and talking to you. But the same facial structure, the same hair color, the same eyes, everything. She was with BB, then Pete's, and then she got with Natter. Natter had a certain look to him, certain characteristics. And then did you notice that after Natter, she started looking for that similar look in the men that followed? So there was Natter, and then Roman, which she tried to do something with, and Roman was just not down for that. So Roman, Then Salah, I mean, she just looking for that similar look, looking for a replacement, looking for a man that she could settle with because she couldn't have the one that she wanted. And she was trying to use other men to teach that first man a lesson, which he never learned it because he really doesn't care.
Yeah, Aubrey, I think so. Because that's what was happening with me. And at the beginning of my relationship with him, I was like, wow, she's so bad. But now I'm like, no. Today.
I want to bring up something that's just popping in my head right now. Has anybody out there watched the film Eat, Pray, Love? It's a really great film, and Chantal should watch it over and over and over again because there is a message there. There's lots of things you could learn from that film. In the film, for those who haven't watched it, Julia Roberts, her character, she's a writer, and she's in a marriage that she's not happy with. And she decides to get out of the marriage, and she gets an assignment to travel to different parts of the world and write about her experiences there. And along the way, she's getting over the heartbreak of her failed marriage, basically trying to find herself. It's a really, really great film, and I highly recommend it. But why am I bringing that up now? Because there's one part of the film they will always remember. So Julia, what area did she go to? I think she goes to, like, the last part of her journey, which is Bali. She goes to Bali, and she gets invited to a party, and she meets a young man there, very young. And the young man's very flirty with her, and they go to the beach, and he gets in the water, and he's taking his clothes off, and she's kind of drunk, but she looks at him and she says, like, I can't do this because I dated you 6 months ago. Because also in the film, she was involved with a younger man, and that didn't work out. But that always struck me. That always stuck with me. That sometimes when you date people and you break up with them, and then the next person that might come after, or the one before that, like, you might find yourself in a position where you're, even though it's a different body and a different soul, you're dating the same person with the same characteristics. And that's what Chantal does. She dates or is involved with different people, but it's the same person in a way. And because of that, she has the same experience. There's no difference here.
Okay. Yeah, I talked to you. Hi, VI Peasant. Sorry. I talked to him today, but like just on a friendly basis. Nathan looks nothing like Natter. It is a different universe. Yeah.
And that's another thing. Sometimes if you're a person, you can get settled into bad habits, bad patterns, just because they're comfortable. Chantal has said she doesn't like change, right? She said that change makes her uncomfortable. Change is scary. She doesn't like anything that makes her uncomfortable. So it would make sense that she keeps going for the same type of man with the same type of look, with the same characteristics, because if she were to date or get involved with somebody different, that would be the unfamiliar. And the unfamiliar might be scary. I'm just speculating here.
I don't find that they look the same at all. You fine? Such a sweet love affair. Do you guys think that I'll be able to... I think I'll be fine. I mean, you guys don't know me. Like, I was only talking to so many men because I didn't find someone. But I knew it would just be a matter of time, and then one day I would just find somebody and just want to, like, talk to them. But I love romance. You know me. Yeah, I mean...
But how could... Do you know what true romance is, Chantal? I'm sure you've taken your ideas from books or movies, but let me tell you what romance is, okay? Since you're stupid and you don't know, let me enlighten you a little bit if you're open to learning. Real romance comes from real love, not fake love. Real romance is being with somebody and they are with you and you enjoy each other's company and you have a connection, and the real love comes from within. And because of that, the person that you're with, they want to be romantic. They truly want to be romantic. They're not forced into it. They're not pressured into it. They just want to express their love in some way and give you a special moment. I don't think you've ever had a truly romantic moment in your life. I think you've always pressured it and poked it out of men because you were so desperate for it. But you can't really speak on romance because you don't know what you're talking about.
Lena, he's got amazing jawline. Hi, Brandy. He's really handsome. Oh. Looks wise, I find him very attractive. Like, where am I finding these guys? I don't know. Online? No, he's going to be on my YouTube channel with me. Maybe, if he wants to. I don't know. Do you think that would be fun for us to do stuff together? You guys, what if he's really good for me? Like, what if he comes here and we start a really good life together? Oh no, I really like him. Maybe we'll get married.
You know, it always amazed me about Chantal. She doesn't like looking like the fool. She hates looking like the fool, and she hates things blowing up in her face, and yet she won't be careful. She's not learned to be cautious. Like, if you're interested in somebody, Chantal, why not wait and see how things go, how you interact with that person, if it's going to work out before you jump into the deep end of the pool, and bring them on your channel and talk about them. Why not take the time and just slow down? And that way, if something does go wrong, if it's done privately, nobody's going to know. Nobody has anything to talk about. You're so eager to have a man talk about you and be around you, and you're an idiot. You're such an idiot. You say, I don't want to be humiliated. I don't want to be made a fool of. It makes you mad when you're made a fool of, and yet you set that in motion by moving way too fast and not getting to know that person and bringing them on YouTube. You set all that in motion. You set up that 3-ring circus. You do. You see what I'm trying to tell you?
Moving into a house. You never know. Maybe we'll get married. Squeeze him dry for content.
Yeah, that's something she did with Natter. Squeeze him dry for content. She likes to always yell and scream, he used me, he used me. He used me so much and he hurt me. But let's think about the things she did with Natter. She used him for content for over a year. Brought him on YouTube. Talked about him. Claimed all kinds of things that he did. Used that for content. And during the whole arc where she was talking about DV, she made a lot of money. So she used Natter too, to the fullest extent.
I don't believe you. You're acting.
And I'm going to be fair. They used each other. They did use each other. It was mutual. But I'm just saying, she used him as much as she could. And she's still using him. She still brings him up to today.
Fake. You know what, Down Under? It's not that it's fake. It's just so new. But that's how changes happen in my life. You ever notice that? Just like this.
Meandering says, yeah, because you are impulsive. And the more things change, the more they stay the same. I've always thought of Chantal as a thrill seeker in a negative sense. She's always running around. It's called chasing the tail of the dragon. She's always chasing the dragon's tail, trying to catch it. Always going for the quick hit of happiness or joy, that quick burst, if you will. Anybody who's ever been in a relationship, then you know what I'm talking about. Like the first month or two, you are walking on air. Like that newness of it all, the new excitement of it all, you're walking on air. Like you're on a euphoric high like nobody else. I think she likes to chase that euphoric high, that new car smell, if you will. When you buy a new car, it smells like a new car. You get in, you can smell the vinyl and everything else. It smells brand new. But then after about a couple of weeks of driving it, that new smell goes away. And you're just left with what it is, which is a car. She chases the new car smell with buying herself stuff, with men, with relationships, with new arcs, like the new car smell, always chasing it. And when something stops being new or smelling new, she gets bored and she has to move on because she's bored.
Or not at all. No, I'm not moving. Well, no, I'm not moving with my aunt, but she's more than welcome to live in my. I want to try to get a big house and, um, you know, yeah, just live there, do some work there, do Vlogtober. I want to do Vlogmas because we get paid extra. We get paid extra in the winter months in December. That's what I hear.
She didn't hear that. She knows that. She's been on YouTube for years. She knows the pay cycles. She knows full well that the winter months during the holidays are the highest pay. So she's acting like, I don't know about that. I've heard that. She knows. And isn't it hilarious? At this past year, during the highest points of the year, she hardly did anything. So the paycheck she's going to be getting in, I'd say, another 6 or 7 days, is going to be low. And the paycheck for the following month is going to be even worse. I wonder how Salah's going to feel about that.
So,
Meandering says, so that's why you were looking for an exotic husband to flex on your channel to make bank. How'd that work out with Salah? It really didn't work out. The whole Kuwait arc was a bust. I'm sure she talked it up with him and made it seem like they were going to make lots of money together, and that did not happen. I'm sure that Salah found out over time that no matter how much money this woman makes, she's going to eat her way through every bit of it, and where there's going to be nothing left to save. And if you want my honest opinion, y'all, it's just me talking. My opinion here, I think Chantal is manipulative to the point where it would not surprise me at all if she deliberately keeps her paychecks low so Salah won't run off and be with another woman. Like making just enough to pay for basic bare expenses, but no more than that. She deliberately makes her content as boring as possible to make as little as possible just to keep Salah tied to her. Well, that could work against you, Chantal, because if you don't make enough, Salah will go looking for another mark, and he's already started. He might look at you one day and say the juice just ain't worth the squeeze. He might say, woman, I don't care if you're paying the rent. I don't care if you're buying the groceries. That is not enough. I want more. He obviously wants more. And if you're not going to provide it, he'll find someone who will.
Yeah, of course, I'm gonna have a lot of content coming, but like just right now I'm just kind of boring. I'm having trouble, honestly, being motivated to get back in the swing of things.
So this lack of motivation has always been a problem. Always. I think that she and Amberlynn Reed, they both are going through the same thing right now. They both have big enough channels that they know at the end of the month they're going to make a certain amount to get by. And because they know that, they've lost the motivation to do anything content-wise for their channel to help it grow or to expand it. They just, once they reached a certain level of money, they're like, that's all I need to make. So I'm not going to worry about being creative. She knows she'll make a certain amount, so she has lost her motivation to work and be eager about entertaining her subs.
It's so hard to get back on the wagon. You have a stud muffin for motivation. Norma Jean, I'm so excited to hear you say that. When I look at him, he's gorgeous.
Didn't you say the same thing about Nick? Didn't you make all kinds of things about Nick? Oh, he's so hot, I can't stand it. and then then you got dumped on live, and you were so mad. But you said they say the same things about all these men. He's so hot, I can't stand it. Hot does not make a relationship.
But I'm getting older, and being gorgeous is very important. But because I mean, I have to look at him every single day, and every single day, I could wake up and look at this man and think, "You're so gorgeous." Every morning, I want to be able to turn over and look at this man and think, "You're so gorgeous."
So you have this younger man in your life, Salah, that you think is attractive. But are you waking up every morning and turning over and he's there? No, you're not. We all know that you're living alone, Chantal, that he's not there. He stays away from you. The rumor is he's staying perhaps with his family, with his dad. And he just comes by to drop off groceries and maybe help you film vlogs, but that's the extent of the contact you have with Salah. So isn't that sad? Isn't that pathetic that you're doing this whole fake marriage arc and sleeping alone at night? Not that there's anything wrong with that. I sleep alone. Who cares? But for you, Miss, I want to be married and I want to wake up and turn over and there's somebody else next to me. You're not doing that. You're not having that. So if marriage is the goal, if you're on the quest for marriage, that sounds like a really sad, lonely marriage to me.
And I want to, you know, I want to have like, I want to get healthy and sleep on crisp white sheets and a nice crisp duvet with this man and live a nice life. And he wants dogs. And we're going to just do stuff. We're going to do a lot.
But you're with Salah and you don't do stuff with him. If he tries to motivate you, say, I just want to stay home and I'm too tired and I just want to eat. And you're constantly eating, which means your body is sluggish from digesting all that food. So the life that you were striving for here, you have, and you're not making the most of it. You're still wasting yourself away. So I ask you the serious question, Chantal, and this is a serious question, so please pay attention. What will it take to make you happy? You're not happy alone. You're not happy having a companion, being in a fake marriage. What will it take to make you happy? Lots of food doesn't make you happy. Tons of Amazon deliveries don't make you happy. Having money doesn't make you happy, but being broke also doesn't make you happy. You have a family in Canada. They don't make you happy. You had a roommate / fiance. He didn't make you happy either. You had another man who was a hardworking gentleman, BB. He didn't make you happy. You cheated on BB. You cheated on Pete. Having a man in your life doesn't make you happy because you want more attention than that one man can give. What will make you happy? You're reaching for everything to make you happy versus looking inside and fixing what's wrong. Therein lies the problem. The core center of the problem of you don't know your own soul and you don't care about your own soul and you're not filling up your soul with things of substance. All you're filling yourself up with is food and substances you really shouldn't have. You are gorging on things you should not have. But none of those things that you put down your throat are going to fill up the empty space inside of you. It's going to be forever empty, wanting to be filled, and you try to use the wrong things to fill them. That's why you're on this vicious cycle that is never ending.
I want to have a partner in life. That's what I want. And he looks over and your wig is up.
You don't want a partner. You want a companion. Because a partner, a true partner, whether it's a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, you think about them as much as yourself. You consider them as much as yourself. You are concerned about who they are as a person, where they want to go in life, what their passions are. if they're sick, if they're healthy, if there's anything bothering them, you are so in tune with your partner that you can feel what they feel without them saying a word. You could even share silence with your partner and be perfectly fine. And if you had a partner, Chantal, a real one, with you acting the way that you act today, gorging yourself full of food, making yourself unhealthy, a real partner would step forward and say, stop this. You need to stop this. You need to quit it. You need to go get healthy. I care about you. I don't want to see you pass away early. I don't want to see you in the hospital. They would step forward, put their foot down, and say, enough. You don't want that. You don't want someone to use their voice and say and point out to you what you're doing is wrong and you need to fix it. You want a companion. Because a companion won't speak up and they'll just play whatever part you tell them to play. So, not a partner. You want a companion who will be complicit in the way you hurt yourself and not say a word.
Falling off.
Oh, so Meandering says, okay, 24 minutes left. I can't watch that anymore. Enough with the BS. I don't blame you. On the next stream, I'm single, also streamed on September 5th, 2022. That escalated quickly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's happening? She get mad at him? Oh, before she even says a word, I could tell she's mad. She is so mad. What happened? We're going to get a rage. We're going to get a rage. Look at her face. She is, this is Chantal. She is a scorned woman. She's scorned. This is what happens when you scorn Chantal. Oh, wait. Is this a fake rage? Because she's smiling. What? What is this, Chantal? Let it out. Come on. Come on.
No.
Tell us all your business. What?
No. I really like him, but I feel like when I meet a guy, I find out who I am, and everybody rushes to them, and they're like this, they're like that, blah, blah, blah. She's like this. And then they want to try to like change your life or help you change your life. I understand, but whatever. But you already bought me a toaster for my wedding gift. I just don't think that I can be a good girlfriend, housewife. Like,
So you had this little revelation about yourself when you were talking to Meaton. You're saying publicly, like, I know who and what I am. I'm feral. I am Chantal. I am Foodie Beauty. And this is me. I know what I am. And yet, what are you doing with Salah? You're so covering up or trying to cover up who you really are. You went over to Kuwait and you did the Shahada, saying that you were a Muslim woman now, although you are far from it. Far from it. You're not trying very hard either. But trying to act the part of the housewife and so loving and it's not who you are. And you're not going to be happy being something that is the complete opposite of the real you. But go ahead. So in a way, Chantal, just as you've settled for men because you could not get what you really wanted, what's worse is that you are settling within yourself. Instead of staying true to yourself and authentic, You are settling for a version of yourself that you are not happy with, putting it on like a costume and hiding your real self and avoiding your real self and escaping your real self, escaping your own true reflection, not wanting to look in it, not wanting to see what's wrong and fix it. So your history is settling for things, settling for people, settling for making new versions of yourself just to be accepted by men. Settling anywhere never made anybody happy.
So, like, I need to have complete freedom, I guess.
Meandering says, makes it so much weirder that she gave up everything for Salah, including her freedom. Yep. She wanted complete freedom. She doesn't have it now.
Planning my life. If planning my life with someone stresses me out, basically, if planning my life with someone stresses me out even a little bit, I don't want to do it. But because I can't right now. Like I have so much going on and I just don't know like what I'm doing with my future.
I'm reading between the lines right here. So the previous stream was all her talking about being with Meaton and, oh, we're going to get married. Maybe we'll get married. Maybe I'll bring them on YouTube. Now she's switching up the narrative of, I just realized this stuff about myself. And you know what this is? This is her switching up the narrative because Meaton isn't that interested, doesn't want to be that interested, doesn't want to commit. So now we're coming out with the narrative of, I realize it's bad for me. We're going with that because she did not get what she wanted. And in every story, the narcissist has to be the hero or the victim or the both together simultaneously. So I guess Meaton didn't want to do with her like that. Or maybe people reached out to him and said, hey, here's a bunch of stuff you didn't know, Meaton. You sure you want to go down that road? You have no idea what you're in for, bro. And he took heed.
I don't have a linear plan for my future.
It's linear, but go ahead.
So I really have to just stop making these plans with these men and like nothing personal, just
She will never come on camera and say that that man dumped her. It's always going to be, I dumped him. Again, she's got to save face. Chantal has always been concerned with saving face in front of the public. Since she's on YouTube and doing things publicly, she's going to save face. Her ego does not like taking hits like this.
I don't know, just long distance and everything is just stressful. I'm not into something very serious. Like I don't know if I can right now. Just because like my brain is like in another place. Other places.
She's acting like she's in control and she made this decision, but Fraudy is a very expressive person. I could tell by her body language that she is bummed out. She's completely bummed out because she didn't get what she wanted. And she's bummed out she has to switch around the narrative because she really wanted Meaton or some other man to be her YouTube co-pilot, to be her partner, to bring them on camera and showcase him. And it just didn't happen.
You know what I mean? Sova, I know. I'm sorry. It was just like going really fast and I freaked out. That's what happens.
Chantal tends to talk backwards. There are many things that she says about these men that if you switch it backwards to where it's not the man coming after Chantal or interacting with Chantal, but Chantal interacting with those men, you get more of the truth. Example, all the times that she tells us about Natter blowing up her phone. I guarantee you it was the other way around. Another example, like what she just said. Things were moving way too fast, as if this man was making things go way too fast. No, it was her making things go way too fast. So whenever you listen to Chantal and she's talking about men and relationships and love, she talks backwards. If she talks about men pursuing her, it's probably her pursuing them too much, blowing up their phone, leaving messages, being insecure, being jealous, being possessive when she really has no right to be. Like she goes after these men and they just reach a point where they can't take it and they let her go, but she has to act like they got dumped by her. They weren't right for her when it's the other way around.
I know. Anyway, I'm okay. No, I didn't block him. I mean, he's really nice and everything, so I feel bad. Like, I feel like I was leading him on, but I don't even know what I want anymore. Like, one minute I want one thing, and then the next, it was just like, I'm planning on moving, and I don't know.
I honestly think Chantal is, she says she wants a marriage. She says she wants a relationship. But I think to a certain degree, she's scared of relationships, real relationships, because a real relationship means you have to consider your partner. You have to listen to your partner, and you can't run around acting feral, doing what you want, doing destructive things to yourself, living in a toxic way. She doesn't want somebody around her that will hold her accountable. She doesn't like accountability. So being around another person means to some degree there would be accountability. She has somebody around her saying, hey, stop that. Cut it out. What are you doing to yourself? She doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't like people telling her what to do or calling her out when she's wrong. She doesn't like it on YouTube and she doesn't like it in her personal life. So what else is there but to pay someone to stand next to her that they're just playing out a part and they'll keep their mouth shut?
He watched the lobster mac and cheese video, didn't he? No, but he doesn't like drugs at all. And I'm like, I love drugs, you know?
Yeah, so you went after a man that you have opposite interests that way. You like chemicals, he doesn't. So isn't that a deal breaker?
So,
Meandering says, so that's the problem. You didn't end this. He did because he didn't want to be seen with a person who does substances all over the internet. More than likely. For some people, that is a big deal breaker. If you're into substances and you're into them heavy, that's a deal breaker. That is because it's just not good. So he said no, that if you're going to do this thing, I don't want to be with you. And you would think, as much as Chantal says she wants a relationship and love, like she's on a lifelong quest for that, you would think someone who really wants it just that bad, they would just have a moment and think to themselves, you know, I really, really want to be loved and I want a relationship. So maybe it's worth it to give up this stuff that means nothing in favor of something that would mean a lot more. But she won't. She absolutely won't. Like this, imagine making that decision, being around someone that says, I love you, but this is a deal breaker, and choosing a substance over the love of your life.
legal drugs. Just try and enjoy being single. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta concentrate on that. No, he wasn't DMing everybody.
Oh, oh no. She's now looking at the camera, which like she likes to look around. Not Meandering says, not looking at the camera. She's lying. He was DMing with Beezers. Oh my God. Another one? Was it another man DMing with her Beezers? Oh no. Oh no.
I was talking to him on the phone, face to face. we do not make beautiful, like up close. His face, his smile, beautiful man, but and every individual person is special in their own way. But you know, when you just aren't sure, I don't feel right for this person. I don't feel right for him. I feel like he should be with someone else. I feel like he's probably gonna be better with someone else because I mean, I'm a mess. I just don't feel like, and I just don't feel like being pressured to change for somebody or for something or for.
I'm going to be mean for a minute. Chantal, you're not good for anybody. You're not even good for yourself. Honestly, I'm not saying that with an evil heart. That's just the truth. You are not good for anyone right now. You're not even good for you. You're not even good being alone. You put yourself in a position where you are codependent on Salah bringing you stuff and doing things with you because you can't be on your own. You have so many bad qualities, and yet you don't want to admit them. You don't want to fix them. You want to continue on being the way you are. Anyone that ever encountered you that liked you just a little bit, you would ruin them. Absolutely ruin them. You would take advantage of them. You would manipulate them. You would just step on them because that's what you do. You have no appreciation for other people.
If I like a certain thing about my lifestyle, if I like to smoke, even if it's bad for my health, then I like to do it. You know, and I don't like to have to worry about a man's constant pleasure. If you are hosting somebody who's immigrating to your country, you have to make sure they're always happy. They make themselves happy too, but like that's how I feel. I feel like I'll always have to make them happy because, and I'm afraid I won't be able to do that.
I think what she means is by having somebody around her, again, it goes back to accountability. Having somebody around, having to maintain acting a little less feral, acting like she has some kind of decency and manners, that would be a lot of pressure for her because she doesn't know how to be a decent person. She wants to be free, to be feral, and act like a beast, and be gross, and fart, and burp, and crap on the couch. She doesn't want to have another set of eyes around to see her do it or remark on her doing it. If she's alone, she can do those things with no one reprimanding her. But to be in a relationship, that other person's going to be there and they're going to say stuff, and she she can't maintain keeping up appearances for long periods. She's got to have her time to be free and feral.
I like to just lay around and like go on my phone all day. You know, sometimes I don't know, I want to live life and do things too, but I think the type of life he's looking for here, I don't know if I can give him that, and I'm like afraid of that. And I think if somebody else can, you know, men aren't gonna want to deal with my YouTube channel.
In the history of Foodie Beauty, anybody's been around for a while, in the history of Foodie Beauty, has there ever been a moment where Chantal has willingly given up a man? Anybody? Anybody remember anybody like that where she had a moment of clarity and said to that man with a true heart, you know, I've thought about it and I would not be good for you. I would just do too much damage. I'm too messed up. Uh, please walk on and find the love of your life. Has there ever been that moment where she had that moment of decency? No. If there's a man that she's interested in and she's locked onto, she's not going to let him go willingly. She will not. Unless she's found another man to replace him, then she might. In order to get Chantal's claws wrapped out from under you, those claws have to be around somebody else. So, Meaton, sir, I don't know who you are. You dodged a big bullet. You have no idea how large. You have no idea how deadly and damaging it was, but good for you. Same thing with BB. He dodged a big bullet. He knew what was up long ago. And I'm sure to this day, if he sees Chantal's content, he probably looks at her and says, "Whew, boy, was I smart. I don't regret that decision." He's never going to look at Chantal and say, I let go of a good thing. I really did. I made a mistake. He's never going to say that. Never. But she doesn't willingly let go of men. She just doesn't.
The only thing a man wants who has never met you and only been talking to you for less than a week is to use you in some way. Well, yeah, and I mean, to some degree, every person immigrating, like, if I'm I don't care. I would rather just be undateable than have to be fake. Jamie, that's just like how it is, man.
You are undateable and you are fake. Congratulations.
Find a hot stoner, dude. I don't like men who are stoners either.
Isn't that weird? She just said, I don't like men who smoke, although she smokes. And here's something else I find strange, y'all. Of all the men that I've seen Foodie around, all of them, the person that she had the most natural energy with, connecting energy, was S-Jam. Honestly, S-Jam. He's a mess in his own right, but two peas in a pod they are. They're a lot alike. But the most natural, I'm being myself energy was with S-Jam. They did one stream together and they were just laughing and having a good time. And if there was any guy that would have been great on live stream with her, it would have been him. But unfortunately for S-Jam, he didn't fit the aesthetics for Chantal. He wasn't young and hot and she could brag about on her channel. So she didn't consider him. But as far as having a co-pilot for live streams, he would have been perfect. He honestly would have, because they could laugh together, have a good time together, be themselves. He possessed that energy with her. Nobody else before or after him has she had that energy with.
I don't know what I want. I was really excited yesterday. So that's why I was like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. I get lonely and bored, and I feel like I'm trying to find someone to replace Natter or something.
There it is. There it is. Let's play that again. Y'all listen.
Really excited yesterday. So that's why I was like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. I get lonely and bored, and I feel like I'm trying to find someone to replace Natter or something.
What I say? What did I say? What I say? It was about replacing Natter. Why would anybody want to replace Natter? I don't know. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. I can't. What? I'm trying to find a replacement for Natter. Why would anybody want to find another him? But I said earlier, didn't I, that she was trying to find a stand-in for Natter, trying to find another version of Natter in another body. Just maybe not quite as rude, maybe not quite as blunt and upfront. Looking for another Natter. Remember also what I said about the part in Eat, Pray, Love, Julia Roberts' character. She's at the beach with this much younger man and she says to him, I dated you 6 months ago. Finding the same man, just in a different body, which will lead to the same circumstances. She was looking for another Natter. And why was she looking for another Natter? Because that's the one she really, really wants to be with. That's the one she can't have. And Chantal has always had this obsession over wanting something or someone that she can't have versus what she can have, and then just being happy with it. So if she really wants something but can't have it, and she finds something else that it makes her a little bit happy but not 100% happy, she's settling. And no one anywhere who ever settled for anything was ever truly happy with their decision, with their choice. So looking for another natter. And she found the wish version. She found Timu Salah over there. The cheaper version, the nicer version. That does what he's told when he gets paid. And she's not been happy with that settling. She is not happy. There's been no positive life change at all. She has settled in to her, I've settled with this one decision. And it's caused nothing but havoc.
Something. I don't know what the rush is. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe we'll get married down the line. But right now, I just need to focus on myself and getting the fuck out of here.
And that always bothered me about you, Chantal. Like you're trying to create and live a fairy tale. And in fairy tales, you often hear stories about princesses being rescued by a knight on a white horse. Like the princess, the damsel in distress, and here comes the knight to rescue them from some tragedy. This is reality we're talking about. This is not a fairy tale. No one's going to come and rescue you. No one's going to wave a magic wand over your head and make all your issues go away. And it's ridiculous to try to find a man that he's going to devote every single bit of his time to make you happy and fix all of your problems, because truly, even if you wanted to, a lot of your issues are in a place that he can't get to and he can't fix. He can't fix your physical issues, your mental issues, your psychological issues, your emotional issues. No man can touch those. No man can compensate for those. So it's ridiculous to think that way. In fairy tales, a princess gets rescued by a prince or a knight. But in reality, the princess rescues herself. And by doing so, she becomes a queen.
it's hard being in a relationship with a man that you can't touch physically. I can't, man. I mean, like, I'm actually really effing pissed that I am not getting laid these days.
Another thing to add to her misery with Salah, because you know he ain't touching her. A year of not being touched. And we would know if she was being touched. She wouldn't be able to keep the smile off her face. She's so frustrated over there. And yet she won't let go. Chantal, you're stupid. If you wanted natter, you could have stayed in Canada. Maybe thrown some money at him and, gotten the deed done every once in a while. All the money you've spent on Salah just to be frustrated. It makes no sense to me.
I hate it. I just want to throw a tantrum. You want a guy who has a certain lifestyle, a certain body type that requires a certain lifestyle without adjusting your lifestyle at all.
Right.
Not happening unless you want to be someone's fetish.
Thank you. I don't know who said that in the chat, but you weren't wrong about any of that. You were not wrong. You are 100% right. And like I said before, it is possible for a gentleman of a smaller size to like and love and be in a relationship and get married to women of a bigger size. Hey, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Some men like smaller women. Some men like bigger women. Likewise, there are some women who prefer the bigger men. Some of them like the smaller men. Beauty and attraction is subjective and individual to the soul. But Chantal is all about the aesthetics and wanting the Instagram model guy. Like she's looking high up that ladder. Like, I want that. But yet she won't do what she needs to do to be alluring and attractive and appealing to a man. She won't take care of her hygiene. She won't improve her manners. She won't improve herself internally. Walking around with all kinds of health problems. You wanted a younger man, Chantal, that was very active, wants to travel the world. His idea of happy is not sitting in an apartment day after day after day watching movies, Netflix and chill. He wants to go chill around the world. So you aim for the exact opposite of what makes you happy, and you wonder why that man is not happy with you. And you've gotten yourself to a place, and let's be honest, there are a lot of men who like the bigger ladies because it is their fetish. You're going to be somebody's fetish. You put yourself in that category on top of catering to those people on your channels. Like, this is the life you created for yourself, yet you're not happy with it.
Isn't true?
It is true. It absolutely is true.
It can happen, and you know what? I'll just wait until it does. Focus on myself.
Oh, God.
That's all you guys say. Dill pickle and fluff?
Oh, that's so disgusting. What are you about to do?
They would be, who's being Mr. Beezer?
Ugh, gross.
Miley Cypress? I can't believe you said that.
Okay, you know what? I told you guys we're not going to feature her eating, but she's eating. She's eating. Can we cut that out? I'm sorry, Meandering, but I promised my subs no more eating. No more mukbangs, and I'm keeping my promise to the people on my channel, so I have to cut that out, love.
Sorry. Yeah, you made me private it.
Oh, so I guess that happened. So I don't know if everybody remembers, Chantal did a video where she was in a short dress and she literally laid down and rolled down a hill. So Meandering is saying, I don't have the chat, so not sure what she is talking about. Maybe about Meaton asking her to delete her rolling down a hill video. I know she said that somewhere. If I find the clip, I'll post it. So I guess Meaton was not happy about that video because it wasn't modest. It looked kind of sleazy, actually, but he wasn't happy about it.
Pelvic pain. He made me do it.
Oh, that laugh. Sorry.
If only I could make a deal with Bolt. Yes, any videos talking about Tony or any men or going down the hill.
You know, another little coincidence between her and Salah. It's funny how some things just parallel each other, don't they? You know, we all know about Salah's Red Room picture. And I see comments in chat sometimes because some people, they don't know about the Red Room picture. They've never seen the Red Room picture. For those that don't know, that you're curious, you want to know, I'm not going to show the picture here, but essentially what the Red Room picture was a picture of Salah in a bed with another woman who is obviously naked. Like, she's turned towards Salah on her side. And the person that posted the picture, like, when she got the picture from someone, and she's not revealing her sources, but she cropped out a lot of the picture to protect the woman's identity, like not showing her face, not showing her full boobs. But it was Salah in a bed with a woman, a smaller woman than Chantal, just laying there. And I guess he took a picture of that in a red room. That's the Red Room picture, because the picture was red, like there was red lights above. That's the Red Room picture. But Chantal did a similar thing with a guy named Tony, showing herself in bed with a guy and like kind of like halfway showing him. So she had a red room picture, and so did Salah.
I can't have a boyfriend. I can't be controlled in any way. So I have to stop dating men, I guess, in general. So I'll just be. Well, we're going to still be friends, you know? And I also never talk about how I'm feeling about the whole matter situation with the whole thing because I just don't ever want to get. I don't ever want to.
Chantal, to this day, you bring up Natter. You talk about it in the sense of, oh, I went through so much, and you guys know what I went through, and it was so traumatic, and I don't want to talk about him ever again. You purposely bring up Natter. And if you want to know my opinion, I think you are still heavily in communication with Natter to the point where, and again, I have no receipts for this, y'all, but I just find it interesting, an interesting coincidence that Natter started to kind of go after FFG, like cause problems for her channel. Right about the same time that Chantal was coming back to Canada. And isn't it also very interesting that when she got back to Canada, suddenly Natter popped up with $500 in new groceries. And I also heard he got some new clothes. And those were things that Chantal used to purchase for Natter. Isn't that weird? Is that a weird coincidence? Or is there something more than coincidence? Maybe Chantal having Natter do her dirty work, and then once he did it, rewarding him for a job well done or a task completed, perhaps. Perhaps. I think Natter still has a finger or two in Chantal's pocket, and she doesn't have any friends, mind you. So if she's got problems going on with Salah and frustrations with Salah, who do you think she's going to call and talk to? More than likely, it's going to be Natter, complaining to him. Oh, it's so bad over here. I'm so miserable. And you know that Natter's over there saying, well, come on home. Come on back. He's acting all sympathetic. Yeah. Yeah, they never, in my opinion, stopped communication. She never really cut him off because Chantal is like Salah. She likes to keep all doors open. She doesn't want to shut one just in case she needs it open. So, in my opinion, she's still talking to Natter, just more on the down low.
I just don't want to hear it.
And to his part, even though Chantal is in Kuwait and he can't actively make her part of his content, he still mentions her. He still talks about her. He still pokes at her, still including her in the content, still doing that. So two people that claim to hate each other, absolutely hate each other. If you hate someone, that means you don't talk about them anymore. You don't focus on them anymore. But these two, they just can't stop bringing each other up. And if you really, really hated Natter, Chantal, if he did so much harm to you, you being the wrathful Aries you claim to be, why haven't you had his channel canceled? Why didn't you take him to court? Why didn't you do a lot of things? You talk a big game, but you don't ever win the game because you don't really want to. You want to keep him around in the background to do some work for you.
I know you guys don't want to hear it,
Yeah, Meandering says, okay, here's what I don't want to hear. I just had to watch and hear her eat pickles. Now the chips. I can't anymore. I'm done for today. If people think her streams are so much more boring now, they always were. Yeah, but here's the really sad part, Meandering and everybody. Just when you think she couldn't get any more boring, she does. Considering the content that we're getting now out of Chantal, this was actually interesting. I could actually react to her old video, but her lives now, I'm like, what are we talking about? What is there to react to? Nothing. That's why I'm doing the retro reacts, and that's why I'll do the recap later. Because there's not much to say. But regardless of that, I hope you guys enjoyed this react video. And I know it's going to tick Chantal off. Obviously, something's bothering her. She's getting up in my comments. She doesn't like the tarot readings, even though they're none of her freaking business. Like, something about my channel is bothering her now. She must, it must be a slow day on YouTube for her to pay attention to me, but she does. So, like, stay mad, Chantal. Stay mad. Stay bored and stay mad. Okay, guys, I'm out. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please check out Meandering Thoughts, her channel. I'll leave a link down below in the description. All right, I'm out. Y'all take care, and bye-bye.